Good, happy Wednesday morning. I'm Riley King, and welcome to the Riley King Newscast. Let's get started. First up, victim of St. Paul's sex assault speaks out. Let's take a listen to the video from WMUR News 9.
Oil change today?
Without an appointment? Try like 2 weeks.
There has to be an easier way.
Come to Auto Fair Honda, home of the $17.95 oil change.
I don't have an appointment today. Is there any way I can get an oil change?
Of course. We'll have you out of here in 39 minutes or less. Works free.
Servicing your vehicle is fast and easy at Auto Fair Honda. Call or book your appointment online at autofairhonda.com.
Auto Fair makes it happen.
The exclusive interview aired on the Today Show. Francesca Prout, Chessie, was joined by her parents and sister, saying she was ready to own what happened to her and to let other boys and girls know they don't need to be ashamed.
I think what this young survivor did was incredibly powerful and tremendously empowering to other survivors.
Advocates here in Concord worked closely with the Prout family during the investigation and trial, but experts around the country say going public is not something many survivors could or would do.
It's very hard for people to come forward about such a personal crime. Oftentimes survivors feel this shame and this blame because that's what society makes us feel.
Last year, a jury found Owen Labrie guilty of 3 misdemeanor sexual assault charges, but acquitted him of felony sex charges. Prout says she was frustrated by that, stating, quote, Labrie was able to pull the wool over a group of people's eyes. Prout tried to go back to St. Paul's school after the trial, but in the interview said she felt scorned and excluded, saying, quote, if they're going to treat this topic like a joke, this is not a place I want to be.
It's a very, it's scary, it's intimidating, but fortunately, we've seen an outpouring of support for Chessie and her family, and we just hope that that continues throughout the campaign.
This PSA was released in conjunction with Prout's interview, unveiling a campaign called I Have a Right To.
But the reaction from online has been incredible. We were so pleased to see people from all over the country supporting Chessie and her speaking out and her mission and vision with the campaign hashtag I Have the Right To.
St. Paul School declined an interview citing pending litigation, but they did release a statement that says, in part, we have always placed the safety and well-being of our students first and are confident that the environment and culture of the school have supported that. Owen Labrie is appealing his conviction. Live in the newsroom this evening, Amy Cavino, WMUR News.
Okay, and there you go on that report. Manchester woman's murder remains unsolved 1 year later. Let's take a listen to the video from WMUR News 9.
Without an appointment? Try like 2 weeks.
There has to be an easier way.
Come to Auto Fair Honda, home of the $17.95 oil change.
I don't have an appointment today. Is there any way I can get an oil change?
Of course. We'll have you out of here in 39 minutes or less. Works free.
Servicing your vehicle is fast and easy at Auto Fair Honda. Call or book your appointment online at autofairhonda.com.
Auto Fair makes it happen.
A single rose marks the spot where the body of Denise Robert was found last year. Family members say it's been one of the longest years of their lives.
We've gone a whole year without any resolution, any closure to what has happened.
Denise Robert was shot and killed while walking near the normally quiet intersection of Ray and Carpenter Streets on Manchester's north side. This man remembers the night of the murder vividly.
We heard the shot, so a year ago today, it was lying in bed, it's 9 o'clock, and I thought it was a firecracker, and my fiance seemed to know immediately that it was a gunshot. So we collected the dog and we went over and we saw, the body on the ground.
But 1 year later, no arrest has been made in connection to Robert's death, and a reward for information is now up to $42,000.
Well, of course, it's frustrating. I mean, we want answers.
We don't seem to get anything more from anybody. We don't hear anything from the authorities.
We're very, very concerned about the safety of the neighborhood.
The Attorney General's office says a number of leads are still being looked into, and Robert's family says while they are heartbroken, they have faith in investigators and are grateful for the support they have received.
I just want to thank the community, and there's been so many people who have reached out to us and assisted in a lot of different ways.
And a walk and vigil in memory of Denise Robert will be held this Thursday at 6:30 at the Brookside Congregational Church on Elm Street.
Okay, and there you go on that report. Manchester homicide victim identified. Investigators said Tuesday that a man found dead in Manchester Park over the weekend was a homicide victim. The Attorney General's office identified the man as Richard Carlson, 61, of Manchester. His body was found Sunday morning in Prowart Park. Officials did not release the cause of Carlson's death. Anyone with information about the case is asked to call Manchester Police at 603-668-8711. Donald Trump accepts meeting with Mexico's president. Let's take a listen to this video from ABC News.
Let's turn out of the race for the White House. Donald Trump is being accused of flip-flopping on immigration, but tonight his son is coming to his defense on the eve of a major speech and his plan for an estimated 11 million undocumented immigrants. Here's ABC's Cecilia Vega.
One day away from Donald Trump's big speech on his immigration plan.
We will end illegal immigration.
And tonight his son insists Trump's position has not changed.
He wasn't softening on anything. He didn't change his stance on anything.
Don Jr. on the defensive after this moment.
And there certainly can be a softening because we're not looking to hurt people.
Trump in a town hall on Fox News polling the room, asking to deport or not to deport 11 million undocumented immigrants.
Who wants those people thrown out?
The guy who wants them thrown out, stand up.
Stand up. Who does not want them thrown out?
Stand up.
There you go. We are going to come out with a decision very soon.
A decision on a policy that seems set in stone for months.
We're rounding them up in a very humane way, in a very nice way.
But now, Team Trump insists there's been no flip-flop.
His position and his principles have been absolutely consistent.
This is a guy who's been very consistent.
He's pretty consistent.
Today, the candidate's son also not backing down.
He didn't say, well, my policy's now changed. He didn't say that. His policy has been the same for the last 6, 7, 8 months.
He still says deport. They all got to go.
That's been the same. Correct. But again, you have to start with baby steps. And Cecilia Vega joins us now. Let's turn to Hillary now, Cecilia. She spent her week so far in the Hamptons raising money, but that investigation into her email is about to take center stage again?
Yeah, Tom, the FBI is expected to release a report that spells out its decision to not file charges against Hillary Clinton during its investigation into her private email server. That could also include notes that agents took during their interview with her at FBI headquarters, Tom.
Okay, and there you go on that report. Ten kayakers hit by ferry in New York City. 5 injured. A man suffered a partially survived arm after a New York City ferry collided with a group of 10 kayakers in the Hudson River Tuesday evening, injuring 5. The ferry departed from Pier 79 near 39th Street in Manhattan and hit the kayakers just before 6 p.m. Officials pulled 10 people from the water, and NYPD confirmed. And that does it for the Riley King Newscast right here on the Riley King Network. I hope you all have a great rest of your Wednesday. See you back here later on. Goodbye, everyone.